Today, I'm avoiding every level's main gimmick in Mario Wonder. Real quick, I'm trying to play through every level in this game without its main gimmick. So whatever it is, I must avoid it at all costs. I'm playing on my 100% save, so everything is unlocked, and I'm only doing the main levels. Let's begin. Welcome to the Flower Kingdom's gimmick is flowers, and the talking flowers are a problem. With invisibility, it was annoying, but possible. Piranha plants on parade was easy. The piranha plants were pretty easy to dodge. Scram skedaddlers was possible with invisibility. Also, if I reach a checkpoint, it's like a save, so I don't have to redo the first half of the level. Bull rush coming through. At this rate, I'm just playing everything invisible. On Here Come the Hoppos, I finally don't have to play the level invisible. Roller Koopa Derby, I just had to avoid the Koopas and they avoided me. On Swamp Pipe Crawl, you're supposed to avoid the Shovas and it was pretty easy. Angry Spikes and Singing Pipes was just run right and jump to dodge the spikes. For Bull Rush Express, I'll let this explain. Yeah, this level's not possible. Sprongs in the Twilight Forest was easy, and Cosmic Hoppos took a few attempts, but it wasn't too bad. Pipe Rock Plateau Palace required me to avoid this green magic, and even with invisibility, it wasn't possible. I was able to complete 10 out of 12 levels in World 1. Out My Way Valley required me to run right and press the jump button. Huckabee Pass was the exact same. Condarts Away required me to use invisibility to avoid all the condarts, but I was able to do it. Pole Block Passage was not possible. I tried to get past this section, but it just wasn't working. I tried jumping up the Koopas, that didn't work. I even tried the Grappling Vine Badge. I thought that would work, but it didn't. Up and Down with Puffy Lifts required me to start by bouncing off a Koopa. Then in this section, I had to try to get a Koopa shell to hit it low enough so I could squeeze through. After a few attempts, I barely managed to squeeze through, but then there was this section, which required a bubble jump, but the bubble jump was pretty hard. I kept trying, but it was really hard because it was so easy to slip up and land on the platform. But I eventually did manage to get past it, and the rest of the level was really just a couple more bubble jumps and careful maneuvering. Jump, jump, jump was exactly as you'd expect. Yeah, no, it is not possible. However, Countdown to Drop Down seemed possible, but there was this gap and I couldn't get a bubble low enough to squeeze through. Cruising with linking lifts was also pretty tricky because it required a lot, and I mean a lot, of bubble jumps. There was this one jump towards the end that required me to get a pretty decent amount of distance from the bubbles, and it took a few attempts, but after a little bit, I eventually managed to get past this section. But then, after that, there was this section. After a good bubble jump, I just barely missed it, and this happened a couple times, but eventually I managed to set the jump up properly and managed to snag the flagpole. Then, on Fluff-Puff Peaks Flying Battleship, I had to avoid these firework things, and yeah, it was pretty easy, but it was an auto-scroller, so it was really boring. And then in Fluff-Puff Peaks Palace, I had to avoid all these bone piranha plants, and they were really annoying, but once again, it wasn't that bad. Overall, in Fluff-Puff Peaks, I completed 7 out of 10 levels. For the Hoppy Cat trial, the Hoppy Cats noticed me, but with invisibility, it's possible. Also, just to clarify, if the level's gimmick is an enemy like a Koopa Troopa and it just walks back and forth, then as long as I avoid the enemy, I'm safe. But if it's something like a Hoppy Cat, where my actions directly affect the enemy, then I can't have it interact with me at all. I wanted to say that to avoid confusion. The Angelfish trial was pretty easy with invisibility, and so was the Midway trial. Also, I'm not saying the full level names in Shining Falls because they're too long. Anyways, the Sharp trial was not possible, and the Sugar Star trial was another hold, right, and jump level. The final trial was also not possible, but a total of 4 out of 6 levels in Shining Falls were possible. Run right and jump, but you're a floating pot. Run right, but you're underground. Run right and jump, but you're just running right and jumping. There's like nothing special here. Run right and jump, but off key. Run right and jump without popping the balloons. Run right and jump, but it's actually just a test of my patience. Run right and jump, but you can't progress very far. Run right and jump, but you can't go anywhere. Run right and jump, but you have to pop the balloons. Run right and jump without touching spike balls, but it's in a castle. Overall, a total of 7 out of 10 levels were possible by just running right and jumping. Yeah, that totally didn't get repetitive. While there were still a few run right and jump levels in World 5, there were nowhere near as many as World 4. But Upstream, Downstream, and Taylor's Toxic Pond were still run right and jump levels. However, Light Switch Mansion was not. I did have to be careful with my platforming since you can't see the platforms until you get really close to them, but with patience, I was able to do it. Beware of the rifts, I played exactly as I would normally play, avoiding the rifts. And Wubba Ruins was stopping me immediately because I had to jump through the slime. And it was the same thing with Swaying Ruins because I had to touch the shoop to get in the door. And so, yeah, I couldn't avoid the gimmick. However, in Poison Ruins, I tried to jump off of enemies to get past, but it just didn't work. I couldn't get very far. Overall, a total of 4 out of 7 levels were possible in Fungi Mines. Where the Rumba's rule was pretty easy, I just had to use a combination of invisibility and the drill mushroom. Rogs in the ruins had these blue invisible blocks I had to dodge, and it really wasn't that bad. It was a little tricky, but nothing too hard, up until the end when there was a huge section that a bubble jump could not cover. Pull, turn, burn had a handful of bubble jumps over these fire rings because I couldn't pull the handles, but it wasn't anything too bad. I think this level might be possible. Seriously, Nintendo, why? Just why? Hot, Hot, Hot was another one of those levels where I got pretty far, but then there was this one jump that I just couldn't get past. Alright, let's see. Not possible, not possible, not possible, not possible. 1 out of 8 levels were possible. Wow! Petal Isles is typically played in between each world, but I thought it'd be easier to just do all the Petal Isles levels together. Anyways, Leaping Smackerel and Robert Cove were both definitely possible, but they did require invisibility. Bluebird Roost took a couple attempts and it was annoying because it was vertical, but it was definitely possible. Downpour Uproar had a few tricky bubble jumps, but up until this section it was possible, but this section was just too long. Drool Block Cave, I had to use the spiny shell to break the blocks, but it was definitely possible. Nosher Layer really just required me to be careful of all the noshers, and Mama Mouthful required me to be invisible so the mamas didn't see me. Muncher Field was a run, right, and jump level. Yeah, I'll let you guess how that one turned out. Anyways, Petal Isles Battleship had this section which I couldn't clear. Also, spoiler warning, there will be final boss and post-game content very soon. Alright, let's keep going. Missile Meg Mayhem had this huge jump that I couldn't clear. However, High Voltage Gauntlet was pretty easy to do. Evade the Secret Bullet Bills was annoying because I had to play the level invisible, but it wasn't too bad. Knucklefest, Bowser's Blazing Beats was an interesting one. If you couldn't tell, in most levels I've been avoiding the Wonder Effect because it typically takes level's main gimmick and makes a huge deal out of it. But in this level, you are required to grab the Wonder Flower. Thankfully, this level is still possible, but it's just annoying that I had to grab it. Anyways, on the final battle, Bowser's Rage stage, we have to avoid wonders. Junior, what are you doing? What? Super duper, no, I don't care about your extra cool wonder. No, seriously. Okay, so according to Bowser Jr., we're not allowed to beat this level in the challenge. but it's okay because we were able to beat a total of 10 out of 14 levels in Petal Isles. So in most of the Special World levels, you're required to get the Wonder Flower, but in Pipe Rock Plateau Special, you can just kind of jump over it. This level's pretty easy. You do need to damage boost at the end though. Anyways, you ready for a streak of unclearable levels? These include Fluff-Puff Peaks Special, Shining Falls Special, Sunbaked Dessert Special, Fungi Mines Special, Deep Magma Bog Special, and Petal Isles Special. However, the semi-final test is possible, but it's really annoying and boring because it's an auto-scroller and I kept messing up. Anyways, the final test is not possible, and that wraps up the Special World. Wait, no. The final test is also not possible, and now Special World is wrapped up with a total of 2 out of 10 levels being possible. So, a total of 45 out of 77 levels were possible to beat without their gimmick. Unless I missed something, which is a possibility. Anyways, since so many gimmicks were avoided in this video, let's do some gimmicks. Like this video's gimmick of liking and subscribing. I also actually did this challenge in 3D World a few weeks ago, so make sure to check that video out if you enjoyed this one. Bye!